So, thinking back to the lesson that I observed, I came and observed, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst lesson that you've taught and 10 being the absolute best, how would you rank that lesson?
I would say that it was probably a 7 or an 8. It definitely wasn't my worst lesson, but probably not my best.
Okay, so what pleased you about the lesson?
Honestly, today was the moment where I really saw it all come to fruition. I enjoyed while they were working on creating their vocabulary list, the collaboration aspect that I saw and that component where my students worked together and bounced ideas off of one another. And then I really saw that come to a head today because they took a quiz over it and actually succeeded.
That is awesome. So that's always great when we see our efforts kind of come to fruition, like you said. So you ranked it about a 7 or 8. What would you change to move the lesson closer to a 10?
I know that, I went back to the basics with this lesson essentially and went with the more traditional route of actually making them hand write out their vocabulary words to get that kind of repetition, movement. I think though I would add a technological component just because them writing out the definitions and everything, solid, but it didn't really leave them room to practice and to prepare for the quiz itself. So I think with a technological component, they would actually be able to have like practice problems or like flashcards right here on their phone, wherever they're at, rather than holding that list.
Okay, so tell me more about what you think that might look like. So as far as the technology part, are you talking about maybe gamification or online flashcards or?
Yeah, definitely along those lines. Like I know like the basic gamifying kind of platforms like GimKit, or like Quizlet, but definitely somewhere along those lines if there's any other ones that you know of.
Okay, I know Wayground does a really good job at that, and you can gamify those. Pair assessments, which you know with our testing stuff, I'm not sure if we can gamify it, but we can definitely do some quizzes on that, and that would also get them used to the CIO platform and stuff.
Very true, yeah.
Now we really need to think about how we can measure that change. And I think one way that we could measure the change is maybe like how many quizzes per week that they do. Okay, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can help you set a goal as to how many, maybe they do one, starting off 1 quiz a week.
Yeah. Okay. And then we could, I guess, kind of monitor their growth based off of every week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, so do you want this to be your next goal?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right. Now, if you can hit this goal of just gamifying their practice, would it really matter to you?
I mean, honestly, yes. And at the core of what we do and everything, I mean, student success is at the heart of it. And so I believe if they have tools that they can better prepare for the quiz and better engage with the material that makes sense to them, especially given this technologically driven generation that they are. I think that including components like that and making this my goal would benefit them in the long run.
Okay, so now I know that our district is really, really big on collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a teaching strategy that you think you can use in order to achieve that goal?
Absolutely, and I do think that like the GimKit and the pair assessment and the Wayground and everything, I think that would lay the foundation for my students to be able to collaborate in a way that they feel comfortable to do so.
Mm-hmm. What about Blookit?
Blookit, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not really used Blookit though, so if you could guide me on that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay. The unfortunate thing about Blookit is the kids love it, but the district doesn't pay for us a subscription, and so they can only play so many kids at a time. Okay. But I know that what other teachers have done is they'll open up multiple games, and then students will just choose whatever game to join.
Yeah.
So that it's basically in groups. and they can choose whatever group to play against. So they're still collaborating.
Yeah.
And so it kind of works around that
Yeah.
number limit of how many students can be in a game,
It also gives them a choice. That's kind of cool.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you feel your next steps are? So what should we focus on? So now we've got the gamification. What are gonna be your next steps, maybe for like adding this into your lessons?
I think step one should be us getting together and you kind of showing me these platforms, because I
Okay.
haven't really used Whiteground. I know a little bit about Pair. I don't know anything about Blockit, so. And then from there, maybe collaborating, you and I, on some lesson plans, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we teach the same grade, so
Absolutely.
definitely do that besides the technology standpoint.
Yeah.
All right, any other thing? You have any questions for me?
I don't think so, no. Do you?
No, all right, we're good.
Sweet.
All right, see you later.
See you, thank you.
Thank you.